and welcome to lesson 15 now. So here's the things that you're going to need. Lesson 14, homework, we're going to go over. Lesson 14, exit ticket. Lesson 15, pattern sheet that's in your yellow book. The lesson 15 application problem. And the lesson 15 problem set. And these are what you need for today's lesson. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over the lesson 14 homework, and we're going to start with questions 1 and 2. All right, so something I hope that you noticed in the instructions is that it says label the unknown side lengths of the regular shapes below. If a shape is a regular shape, like a regular triangle or a regular square, that means all the sides are the same length. So if you look at this and it has one side length labeled, that means you have all the side lengths of that shape. So looking at the triangle in A, if one side is 4 inches, then the other two sides are 4 inches as well. So the perimeter, when you add up all three sides, is 12 inches. If one side of the square in B is 8 centimeters, then all of the sides are 8 centimeters, and when you add all of those up, the perimeter is 32 centimeters. For some reason, my video is having issues, but for C, when you add up all the side lengths, you should get 72 meters. And for D, when you add up all the side lengths, you should get 36 inches. Moving on to 2, as you know, a rectangle, there's two sets of equal sides. So right here it gives you 4 centimeters and 9 centimeters, making you know that the other two sides are 4 centimeters and 9 centimeters as well. When I added up the sides, I put the like numbers together, so 4 plus 4, and then 9 plus 9. I had 8 plus 18, and I found the total perimeter to be 26 centimeters. For the next few, I'm deciding to do multiplication. So this pentagon has sides of 7 centimeters. I know that a pentagon has 5 sides, so I've decided to do 5 times 7, the number of sides times the length of the sides. So 5 times 7 is 35, so the perimeter is 35 centimeters. For 4, I know a square has 4 sides. So if each side is 24 meters, I can multiply 4 by 24 meters. The number of sides by the length of the side, and 4 times 24 comes out to 96, so the perimeter is 96 meters. What is the perimeter of a rectangular sheet of paper that measures 8 inches by 11 inches? So I drew a piece of paper, but you don't need to, because if a rectangle, you know there's two sets of equal lines. So there's two 8-inch sides and two 11-inch sides. I added them with the like numbers again, so I did 8 inches plus 8 inches, plus 11 inches plus 11 inches, which changed into 16 plus 22. When I added those up, I found the perimeter is 38 inches. Now go ahead and get your pattern sheet out, and when you're ready, you can go on and start the 2-minute timer of the video. So pause it until you get your paper, and then when you're ready, you can press play again and it will go on. Here are the answers to the pattern sheet. Remember, you just had to go as far as you could in 2 minutes, so go ahead and check the answers of the problems that you were able to finish. Now you should have the lesson 14 exit ticket in front of you. When you're ready, you can go on with the 4-minute timer and just do as much as you can and then check your work. Here you're comparing different shapes. So a pentagon has 5 sides that are 7 centimeters each, and then a hexagon has 6 sides that are 5 centimeters each. So I decided to use multiplication. I did the pentagon first, the number of sides, which is 5, times the length of the sides, which is 7. So 5 times 7, the pentagon has a perimeter of 35 centimeters. The hexagon has 6 sides that are 5 centimeters each, so I did 6 times 5 and found the perimeter of 30 centimeters. So I explained in my writing that the pentagon has a larger perimeter because when you multiply the number of sides by the length of the side and then compare the two perimeters, it had a larger number. Now in front of you is the application problem. Remember, mine looks a little bit different, so make sure you're paying attention to what I'm talking about. I did Pedro's rectangle first, so I labeled the side lengths, and then you can see on the side I explained what I did. I found that there were 4 3-inch sides and 4 5-inch sides. So I multiplied 4 times 3, and then I added 4 times 5. So 4 times 3 became 12, 4 times 5 became 20, 12 plus 20 is 32, so Pedro's perimeter is 32 inches. Now with Clara's rectangle, I labeled the sides again, and on the side I had 8 5s and there were 2 3s. So 8 times 5 plus 2 times 3. 8 times 5 became 40 and 2 times 3 became 6, so 46. So Clara's rectangle has a greater perimeter than Pedro's rectangle. Now in front of you is the lesson 15 problem set, and we're going to go problem by problem and go over them, so make sure you're following along. Number 1 says Mrs. Coslow put a border around a 5-foot by 6-foot rectangular bulletin board. How many feet of border did Mrs. Coslow use? So I drew a picture of my rectangle, labeling 2 sides as 5 feet and 2 sides as 6 feet. When I added the sides up, I did the like numbers together. So I did 5 feet plus 5 feet plus 6 feet plus 6 feet. 5 plus 5 is 10, 6 plus 6 is 12. 10 plus 12 changed into 22 feet, so Mrs. Coslow used 22 feet of border. Jason built a model of the Pentagon for a social studies project. He made each outside wall 33 centimeters long. What is the perimeter of Jason's model pentagon? So a pentagon has 5 sides, and all 5 sides are 33 centimeters, so I added 33 centimeters 5 times. I grouped them together to make it easier, so 33 plus 33 became 66, another 66, and then 133 is left over. I grouped 66 plus 33 together to create 99. When I added 66 plus 99, I found that the perimeter is 165 centimeters. The Holmes family plants a rectangular 8-yard by 9-yard vegetable garden. How many yards of fencing do they need to put a fence around the garden? So I drew a picture of the rectangle with 2 sides that are 8 yards long and 2 sides that are 9 yards long. And when I added up all the numbers, I put the like numbers together. 9 yards plus 9 yards plus 10 plus 8 yards plus 8 yards. So 9 plus 9 is 18, and 8 plus 8 is 16. 18 plus 16 turns out to be 34 yards, so the Holmes family needs 34 yards of fence. Marion paints a 5-pointed star on her bedroom wall. Each side of the star is 18 inches long. What is the perimeter of the star? So each side is 18 inches, and when I added up all the sides, I found that there were 10 sides of the star. So that means there are 10 18s. I changed that into 18 tens to make it easier. So 18 tens, when I add that zero, it equals 180. So the perimeter is 180 inches around the star. The soccer team jogs around the outside of the soccer field twice to warm up. The rectangular field measures 60 yards by 100 yards. What is the total number of yards the team jogs? So I drew my rectangle of 2 sides that are 60 yards and 2 sides that are 100 yards, and when I added them, I put the like numbers together. 100 yards plus 100 yards plus 60 yards plus 60 yards. This turned into 200 yards plus 120 yards. 200 plus 120 is 320 yards, but when you look at the question carefully, it says that they jog around it twice, so I need to add this number to itself, so I have 2 times. So 320 yards plus 320 yards means they go around twice, and that equals 640 yards. So the team jogs a total of 640 yards. Troop 516 makes 3 triangular flags to carry at a parade. They sew ribbon around the outside edges of the flags. The flag side lengths each measure 24 inches. How many inches of ribbon does the troop use? So let's make one triangle with 3 sides that are 24 inches long. So when I add those up, I get 72 inches. But it says that they make 3 triangular flags. So if one flag is 72 inches, you need to add that 3 times for each flag. So 72 inches plus 72 inches plus 72 inches. And that equals 216 inches. So the troop uses 216 inches of ribbon. So now it's homework time. Go ahead and do the lesson 15 homework, and we will go over it in the lesson 17 video.